Hey everyone! So, welcome to another showcase video. It's been about 2 weeks since I put one up, and there is a very good reason. I have been very busy, not just with like work and life, but I've also been doing a lot of hobbying lately. And I actually have a lot more to show you. This week I have 3 showcase videos planned, this being the first one. And this is actually my most recently completed project. So, as you guys have seen, my 2 main armies on this channel are Space Marines and Necrons. But I have neglected my Necrons of late. It's been a lot of Space Marines and not a lot of Necrons. So, I want to change that. So, as you saw from my hobby project roadmap, it's a lot of Necron stuff. So, this is the first wave of it, at least that you're getting in video. And that is 3 Canoptek Doomstalkers and 3 Lokhust heavy destroyers. And the destroyers are kitted out with the big fucker, the big anti-tank shot. Because that's kind of a weakness of Novak, is that they don't really do well with large, heavy fire. They focus a lot on small arms fire and mostly, obviously, full-on melee power. But I wanted some heavy-hitting long-range firepower for these guys. So I went the full 3 Doomstalkers, 3 heavy destroyers with the, the Gauss Heavy Destructor, because it's objectively just the best one, and it looks cool too, so that's a big bonus. But first, we'll talk about, more specifically, the heavy destroyers. So, these were the first 3. These are the first ones I worked out of the 6. And one thing I was kind of shocked about with these guys is they're actually all easy to build kits. I was kind of surprised by that, honestly. Kind of made me a bit sad too. I was kind of looking forward to putting this thing together, but it's an easy to build kit and it's a fairly simple one. There are a couple parts where I'm like, okay, I kind of wish I had a, I want to glue couple things, like the third arm. Like, he has the 2 main arms, the one that's holding the back, one that's holding up the very top, and then he has the one that slots right in. That one works really well with some glue, the third one that slots in. It's kind of a loose fit. So on this, all 3 of those are glued on. Also, the red butt plates, as I call them, those are all glued on as well, because they're a bit flimsy, they fiddle around a bit. So if you build these yourself, I suggest gluing those on, but it's not necessary. And again, I went with the Gauss Heavy Destructor because, well, it's just a powerhouse of a weapon. It's what, D3 plus 3 damage? It's either 1 or 2 shots. I can't remember offhand, but I think it's 1 shot. But either way, these things hit like a fucking truck. So it's definitely a great unit. They're pretty cheap too. They are pretty cheap, both money-wise, considering it's 40k, and points-wise. So you can easily fit 3 in an army. And I highly suggest that you do so. Next, on to the Canoptek Doomstalkers. These are the cool fuckers. These things are they're just fucking cool as shit, man. God, I love the Doomstalkers. When they announced them, I was genuinely surprised by, well, one, like, they just look so cool. It's so War of the Worlds. It's awesome. And if you don't like War of the Worlds, I don't know if I like you. Joking aside, though, like, it's just, oh, they just look so fucking cool. And one thing I was not prepared for is, and I'll put a picture up of it here, but just how much bigger they are than the Canoptek Reanimators. As you can see here, they're a solid, like, 33% bigger. Like, I thought maybe, like, okay, they'll be a little bigger. Even without the cannon, I figured they'd be a little bigger. but they are fucking huge. They make the Reanimator look tiny. The Reanimator was previously my tallest unit. At least I think it is. I think he's bigger than the Invictor. Yeah. He has to be. So yeah, it was the Reanimator. Now the Doomstalker came in and just blew that out of the water. And again, they're a really good long-range heavy firepower, but they also have a decent lower power shot too if you do have to move it. And because they're so tall, it's hard to get out of their line of sight. Also, it's hard to be out of line of sight yourself, so give and take. But it's a cool model. It's just really cool. Another thing surprising is this is also an easy to build model. I definitely wasn't expecting that. Unlike the Heavy Destroyer where overall it's all good, you don't need glue, this one you're definitely gonna want glue. Definitely gonna want glue. The red plates up towards the top next to the cannons, not the ones attached to the cannon, the one on top, you need glue. You absolutely need glue for that. It is... it does not fit well. It'll fall off with a stiff breeze. And it's not just like a fluke with just one of them. All three of them. The spokes to push in are not long enough. So you definitely need glue for those. Also, I'm finally starting to base my Necrons. And I went with a desert sand kind of base. I really like it. I'm using the Vallejo texture paint. It's cheaper than a Citadel texture paint, and there's like 8 times more of it. So definitely don't use Citadel texture paints. I would suggest the Vallejo texture line. They're really good. They're just really good. One thing I was not prepared for is it kind of smells a bit. It kind of has a bad smell to it. It's not overpowering or anything. But yeah, it kind of has a weird smell. But either way, yeah, that's the units. It's a really cool unit. Really cool models. GW they did really well with designing the look of these. Again, I just wish they weren't easy to build kits. So there's that. But either way, other than that, no real complaints. I really like the models, and I just hope that next edition, the regular Lokhust destroyers get a remodel, because damn do they need it. I think they are the last Necron models with the old school power, the glow sticks, little fucking glow sticks you actually have to put in. I really like the new aesthetic way better. I think everyone does. So, yeah. But that's all I have for you today. Again, I have 3 showcase videos lined up for this week. One of them is big. One of them is more Necrons, just individual, not individual, but another lot of stuff I've done. But the last one later on, the last one I'm putting up this week is a big one. So, or quote big, it's not huge or monumental, but it's big for me. But in any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.